Hello and welcome back to Here We Tow. Today I'm at Golden Castle in Gloucestershire and they've kindly allowed us to come and film a review of this. This is the Swift Challenger X 880. It's a 4-berth caravan and it's on a single axle. This one is quite unique in that it's 8 feet wide and we're going to be taking a look around at the features that it offers. If you don't want an 8-foot wide caravan, this exact model is also available in the Challenger 580, which is 7 feet and 4 inches wide. So do keep watching if you do want to see the layout. In terms of the length of this caravan, the 880 is 7 metres and 54 centimetres in length. The weight, the MTPLM, is 1,642 kilograms and it's going to give you a good payload of 156 kilos. Up on the roof, it's going to come standard with an 80-watt solar panel and it does have the Alde wet central heating. Price-wise, this one is going to cost you £27,500. So let's take a look around. We'll start at the front of the Swift. We've got the Alco chassis and hitch. ATC is not standard, but it is an option. At the front, we see these nice blacked out windows that I do like on the Swift. We've got the sunroof there up at the top. And then at the front, we've got the black front locker panel, the grab handles, and then the remainder is in the white finish. And as I say, it's 8 feet wide, so you can see that extra width there up front. We'll make our way down the near side. Now, first of all, we're going to find the Truma gas point here, which is absolutely perfect for barbecuing outside in that better weather. We come down, we've got our first window, and this is going to look into the lounge. And under here, we do find some storage under one of the side sofas here. Coming down further, now next we're going to find a Truma 230-volt socket, and this seems pretty standard across many of the Swifts. So again, it's good for using appliances out here in the awning. We come to the door. Now up here we've got an LED awning light, so that's going to illuminate the awning on an evening, or if you haven't got an awning, you'll be able to find your way back to your caravan on a night time. The door, it's a one-piece door. We've got the window and that does have a blind inside. And what I do like here are the decals on the Swift. It's almost like a snakeskin effect and it's an orangey gold colour, almost like a burnt orange mixed with the black and the greys. As we come down further, now as I said, it does have a single axle. We've got a 15-inch alloy wheel here. And then carrying on, it's fairly plain and white as we get a little bit further on, but down here we've got further storage, and this is going to give access under the side island bed. It's a transverse island, so we're going to find a little bit of storage under that bed, probably for things like your chairs and your table and stuff for the awning when you pack away. And then we finish off just down at the end with the 880, nothing further here. So what we'll do next is we'll go around the back and just take a look at the rear end. So here at the back again, we get an idea of that big 8-foot width. It's a large white back end. I do like how they mould the rear end on these Swifts. It does make it look a little bit different. As you can see, we've got the preparation for the 2-lay bike rack if you wanted to carry pedal cycles. We've got the Swift up there and the high brake light. We've then got the 880. It's badged as the Challenger X. We've got the grab handles and we've got the light cluster. So that is the big back end on the 880. We'll carry on now around and have a look at what's on offer on the offside. So on this side, we're going to find the Alde vent here. We're going to find here where we plug in our water. This is where your water pump's going to go for your aquaroll. And then we get the battery box under this second lounge sofa inside. We've got the window, which is looking into that lounge area. We've got our Dometic vents, so that's going to suggest the fridge freezer is going to be here on the offside. We've got a window, which is looking into the kitchen area. And I just finish off back here. We've got a good sized bedroom window looking onto that transverse island bed. We've got a frosted window at the back looking into the rear washroom, and I do like the rear washroom. We'll get to that when we go inside. Under there we've got our toilet cassette, and we've got the external flush filler as well. So that summarises the exterior of the Challenger X880. It's quite simple yet effective. I do like the look of it and the styling. So what we'll do next though is we'll venture inside and have a closer look at what we're getting in there. So here we are inside the 880, and this is where we're really going to feel the benefit of that 8-foot width for this Caravan. The lounge area is a really good size and it's lovely and open with this layout, which we'll see fully shortly. The two sofas, these are 5'3" in length, so not a bad length, although if you're going to try and use them as singles, they're probably a little bit short for that. This lounge area will convert into a large double, which is where you're going to find two of your berths, and that bed is going to be 7'3" this way and obviously 5'3" this way, so a really good sleeping space. In terms of colour scheme, I really like this. These cushions, they're almost like a minky gold effect colour. These are nice and they work well with the goldy black curtains that Swift have used for 2021. All around you're going to find the concertina blinds, which again are a personal preference of mine if I'm honest, and for many people as well. And we'll also find we've got fly screens too. Up here we've got these three large windows that do open, and above that we've got the fixed sunroof, and then above that as well we've got a further roof light above as well, so it's going to bring plenty of light in. In terms of the actual lighting, we've got LED lights up here, we've got some small LEDs dotted around the corners here as well, so excellent for lighting. Up front, now first of all here we've got a plug socket. Now these here are blanked off, but I would imagine you can probably ask your dealer if you wanted additional switches there. Over on that side there is a single USB point as well on that one, but there's probably nothing to stop you from getting additional USBs put in here. This chest, excellent size, and this does pull out to extend, so you can sit here as a couple to eat lunch or breakfast and dinner. And storage space, we've got a good sized pull out drawer in here, so if you've got bits you want to store in there, there's a drawer that pulls out as well. Additional storage in the lounge area. Now up here you'll see we've got cupboard space here, and I've had a close look at these, and to be fair, these are pretty good cupboards. They do have really solid doors. These are quite heavy. I'm surprised by these. Good amount of storage, we've got good height, not masses of depth, but otherwise that would intrude on your headroom, I think. This one opens here and gives you a nice corner cabinet, and that's identical on the other side as well. If you're wanting to listen to music in this lounge area, up here we've got Kenwood speakers as well. So overall, I'd say this lounge area, it's a nice space. I do like it, and there's plenty of floor space here as well due to that 8-foot width. And as I mentioned when we started outside, there is the 580, which is 7 feet and 4 inches, and that's going to be the same layout, but obviously it's not going to be as wide at 7'4", so it just bring this lounge area in a bit. So this is the lounge. What we'll do is we'll spin around and we'll go and take a look at this kitchen next. So here we have the kitchen, which is over on the offside. And the first thing I'll say is I do notice on this layout that I've got a good amount of headspace above me here. I know I'm not tall, but to me this does feel quite nice and open, and there's plenty of floor space here around me as well. So the kitchen area. Now we've got a little bit of worktop space here, but we do have the pull-up flap, which is always a bonus. On the wall here we've got the light switch, which is going to illuminate the kitchen area. We've got this lovely splashback, which is well lit. We've got 2 plug sockets as well, so great if you're using your coffee machines, kettles and toasters. We come along, we've got a large sink. It's a big circular sink, not massively deep, but it's certainly got the size of it, and that's where you're going to lose some of your worktop space, to this big sink. Then we've got a large fixed tap here for your hot and cold water. And coming across, we're going to find our Thetford gas oven, hob and grill. If I lift up the cover plate, we have got an electric hob, which is obviously great if you're an electric hookup. And then we do have 3 gas burners as well, ideal for if you're off-grid and not using electric hookup. So a good size hob there, a small splashback there, and obviously you've got the splashback here as well. The grill, got a good size grill there at a good height, and then we move down to where we're going to find the oven. Again, good size oven and a good height. And as I move back to open that, to be fair, there's plenty of room here as well due to the width of the Caravan, so that's plenty easy enough to use. Below it we just find a little bit of storage with the drop down flap there. And then moving across, we have more storage here, and we see again a feature that I quite like in these Swifts. It's the slide out drawer, so you can put utensils in there, and then beneath it we've got a nice slide out rack, and this makes this sort of space a lot easier to use, because if it's just a fixed shelving cupboard, it's not always that easy to get in the back of those, but these slide outs make it much easier to use. So that's a nice feature. And in there we also find a cover for the sink as well, so good use of space. Moving along, now this is where we're going to find a Dometic fridge and freezer. This is 110 litres altogether, so that's a fairly good size, to be fair. It opens up, and in here we're going to find a small freezer compartment there. We've got shelves in the main fridge itself, and shelves in the fridge door as well. So a good size for 2 to 4 people, no problem at all. Just above there, hidden under this worktop, so don't miss it, is another good use of space. This is where we're going to find the cutlery drawer. So it just pulls out nicely from under this space here. So yeah, I do like that little use of space. Above, we're going to find our cupboard space, and these are well illuminated as well. As you can see, we've got 3 little LEDs, and then I've also got a roof light here. So in here we're going to find the controller for the Truma solar panel that I told you about, the 80 watt that comes as standard. We're going to find our little racks here for plates and cups and glasses and stuff, and next to that we've got a microwave. It's at a good height and it's not directly above the hob, so that's a good feature. And then in here we've got another cupboard, probably cereals and what have you there, so good use of space in that one. So that's the kitchen space. It's worth noting, if you're wondering how you close off the bedroom to this space, there is a pull-out curtain here, which I'll just pop open. So on an evening you can slide this across, and there's a fitting here where that is going to fix. And I do like this type of material. We've had this before, and this is nicer than some of the fabric ones. So that's how you're going to gain that privacy there on an evening. So that's the kitchen of the 880. Good use of space, got everything we're going to need. Let's move over onto the near side. So the near side of the 880. First of all, I'll start up here above the door. This is where we're going to find the Swift Command panel. Now from here, this is where you're going to control everything really inside the Caravan. The lighting, the pump, the radio, it's all on this panel here. Next to that, now this is the Alde wet central heating control panel. It's currently 7.5 degrees Celsius in here, so yes, it's fairly cold, but you operate that and you'll do heating and hot water from that panel there. As we move across, we've got a small little storage bit there. Probably could have used that space a little bit better maybe for something else, but it's there nonetheless. And then we come down, and this is where we're going to put our television. As we can see, we've got the aerial socket, we've got a 12 volt, and we've got a plug socket. And then you'll put your television on here on a stand. So you could probably get a really good sized telly there if that's the sort of thing you like. Just above it, we've got a small mirror so you can check your appearance before you go out. And then as we come down, last but not least, we've got a nice storage cupboard under here. Again, you might want to put shoes or things like that you're going to want near the door, just under there. as I step back a little bit here, now this is where we're going to find a small cupboard, and this is going to have the table to use in the lounge when you're wanting to dine properly, either 2 or 4 of you. And also this cupboard, it goes all the way through and includes part of your wardrobe space, so it's got access into both. Now this is a large wardrobe here. The boiler for the Alde wet central heating's in here as well. It has got the pink fluid, which is changed every 5 years. That's pretty standard now, I believe, across all UK manufacturers, that they've moved to pink fluid. The aerial comes into this wardrobe as well, but it's a good size space. There's good space at the bottom as well. So well thought out wardrobe space really there. So I'll close those 2 up. I don't know whether you'd necessarily need 2 entrances into it, but it does seem to work quite well. We now merge into the bedroom space. So what I'll do is I'll keep coming backwards this way, and then we can work through as we go. So under the wardrobe, we're going to find a light switch, and we're also going to find a plug socket. So if you want to charge your phone or what have you, you can do that here. And we've also got room to put our cup of tea or coffee for a morning time there. Underneath, now under here we're going to find some more storage, and what I like about this is we've got 2 drawers that come out in this cupboard, so they're going to be ideal for bits of underwear and things like that. And then under there's a larger storage area where you could probably put larger items of clothing or shoes or towels and things. So again, another good use of space there in this 880. Now as I move back, as you can see, we've got the transverse island bed. Now this bed, it is a little bit different this year on a few manufacturers. Instead of having the slide out bed, because the more have gone 8 feet wide, they're not having to have the slide out. So as you can see, this is fixed. This is the Duvet mattress as well. These are fantastic mattresses, so that's always a bonus to see that. In terms of the size of this bed, it's only 6'2" in length. So if you're a taller person, you just might have to consider that with these cut-offs. And width, it's 4 feet and 4 inches in width. So it's a good size double. The play-off in terms of the length of the bed is whether you get more room to walk around the bottom. And that's one of those things you've always got to sort of balance. Now, the bed's got a nice headboard, and above it we've got a couple of cupboards here for storage. Now, as you can see, they're a good size there. There's a shelf in them as well. Personally, I always struggle to get into these sort of cupboards, so I actually have never used them, I'll be quite honest, but they are there if you do want to use them. You can always climb on the bed. Now to this side of the bed, we've got more wardrobe space. So another good sized wardrobe space there. There's a rail up at the top there, and you've got your shelf in the bottom, so plenty of space. A little shelf for your cup of tea. And then below it, we've got another little cupboard. This hasn't got a pull-out drawer in this one, just that one over there. But we've got some good space there. I think the pull-outs are a good idea. And, I mean, to be fair, it might be something that others, maybe Swift, could look at in the future for having something that pulls out instead of having to try and get in there. Because when you've got the bed and this, the bathroom wall here, there's not a lot of room to get down into there. So that would be a good feature, I think, as an enhancement to this caravan. On this side, I'll just move around so we can see this. Now, we've got that big window that we saw when we were outside. So when you are sat in bed having your cup of tea on a morning, if you've got a good pitch, you're going to have a nice view out. We've got these padded sort of headboard pieces on the walls just as a bit of furnishing. Down here, we've got a big radiator from the Alde wet central heating. So that's going to make this a really nice warm bedroom, especially this time of year when it is absolutely freezing. And coming around on the off side, we've got some good features here, actually. We've got an LED light up here, which I haven't got turned on. We've got a mirror, and the mirrored cabinet does actually open. So you'll be able to store, I don't know, bits of makeup or stuff like that in that one there. And then under here, we've got a plug socket, an aerial socket, so you can put a television on a stand here. And then there's just a little cupboard as well underneath, so you'll be able to store various bits in there. So that's the bedroom. And to be fair, it's a well-equipped bedroom. I haven't found any USB chargers. All I have found are the plug sockets. So no USBs that I've seen, but it's well illuminated, and we've got the roof light up there as well. So that's the bedroom. What we'll do next is we'll move back into the rear washroom, which we're going to find through this sliding door. So let's venture back and have a look in the washroom. So the rear washroom, we'll start on the offside corner, and here we see the Thetford swivel toilet and the toilet roll holder. Above it we've got a window and a blind, and then above that there's an open shelving unit, and then in the corner we've also got a cupboard. So in there you're probably going to be able to keep some toiletries and maybe toilet rolls and things like that. In the near side corner is where we're going to find the shower. Now we've got a good sized shower head there. The shower cubicle itself is a really good size. There's no intrusion from any rear bumper or wheel arch, and the shower does have a nice screen as well, obviously to prevent water from getting out into the washroom. So it is a really good size shower cubicle. So in the centre of the washroom we're going to find a good size mirror. We're going to find this nice sink, and it's worth mentioning that the tap doesn't move, it is fixed. So if you are shaving or washing your face, there is a little bit of intrusion from that, but not a massive amount. And at least you don't have a shelf coming over to impede into the use of that. We've then got a ring for your towel, and underneath we've got a couple of cupboards for storage. So you're going to be able to put toiletries and stuff in there. I must say, the only thing with this being a shorter caravan, it's a little bit more difficult to get into these. So you'd probably be best standing at one of the sides. But nonetheless, good use of space here. And we do also find a radiator underneath here to heat this space. And up above, just here, there's also a little hook for putting towels as well. My only criticism really of the bathroom is I'm not entirely sure what this is. The first thing I noticed when I came in was this large grey board, and I wondered what it was actually for, and I don't know. For me, I think had this have been all one mirror, that would have made this seem a much bigger space, because we would have had that reflection. So the bathroom itself is very, very good. But I'm not sure what this is about, to be honest, and that is my only sort of disappointment with this whole caravan. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll bob back up into the lounge, we'll have a quick summary, so I'll see you up there. So there we have it, that is the Swift Challenger X 880. It's a 4-berth caravan and 8 feet wide, and it just goes to show, if you want 8 feet wide, you don't have to have a twin axle. You can have a single axle like this one at 7.5 metres long. And what I've felt is this caravan offers a great deal of space. It feels spacious. Swift for 2021, I think they really have upped the game, if I'm honest. The ones that I've had a look around, I thought their build quality seems very good. They've had some nice new improvements. I've liked the furnishings. I've been quite impressed. So this one for £27,500, it's up there with its competitors, I must say, and it's certainly worth putting on your list if you are looking at an 8 foot wide caravan. And if you're not, consider that Challenger 580. Hopefully you've enjoyed having a look around today. I know I have. I have actually enjoyed having a look at this slightly different caravan to what I'd normally look at. I'd just like to say thank you to Golden Castle, who very kindly allow us to film today. We have filmed in line with COVID regulations that are in place. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.